Peace. This is Hip Hop Album Review Part 13. Hope you guys enjoyed Part 12. Without further ado, without no introduction, no time wasting here, here's the first album for the day. It is Redman's Malpractice. This is his fifth album, released in 2001. In a nutshell, well, first of all, let me tell you about the singles. The singles are "Let's Get Dirty," which was it was a big hit back in 2001, especially Hot 97 would play the shit out of that song, and Smash Something, excuse me, which was another single too. But overall, his weakest album. I was very disappointed. At the time, I liked it when it first came out, but then after getting older and listening to it again, it was a no-go. I didn't really like it. Even Redman himself didn't like the album. You know what I mean? But this was, I don't know, man. It's not the Redman that I like. That from the Muddy Water days, there was a dark side. And what the album, you know what I mean? It wasn't that Redman that I want. You know what I mean? He just started doing this commercial bullshit. I mean, even though he did that before, in his predecessor albums, but it was more, I don't know, it wasn't as, this album was a no-go for me. Must have, if you're a Redman fan, you must have that in your collection, like a completist. And I didn't buy that, my cousin bought it for me, so good thing I didn't waste my money on that. But anyways, Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, released in 1993. This is their second album. This and Temple of Boom are my favorite albums. This album is pretty dope. It's pretty dark. But I feel like Temple of Boom is darker, but this is a pretty solid album. Singles this album is known for is I Ain't Going Out Like That, Insane in the Brain, Caught the Hammer, Hits from the Bong, and I think when the ships go down, that was a single as well too. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a must-have in your collection for all hip hop heads out there. Or if you're a fan of Cypress Hill or weed rap, it's a must-have in your collection. Cypress Hill, Black Sunday. Then we have Man Redman's first album, debut album, Together, Blackout, released in 1999. This is a classic album. I don't care what nobody says. So I was known for songs like The Rockwaller and excuse me, 1 second, and You, and also Ted the Roof Off, which was on the Into Deep album soundtrack by Omar Epps and LL Cool J. That's a very dope movie. Go cop that movie. Especially if you like late 90s hip hop, you'll definitely enjoy that movie. But anyways, yeah, this is their first album they did together. How they got together was because Russell Simmons had like a little promo going on called the Man of the Month, and Method Man and Redman made a song called How High, which they released back in 1994 or 95, and the song got big and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was a big seller for like Def Jam and shit like that. And then fast forward to 1999, and they did a couple of songs. They did features on each other's albums, Method Man appeared on Redman's Muddy Waters album, track 12. I think it was called Do What You Feel, if I'm not mistaken. And in 1998, Redman appeared on Method Man's Judgment Day album, which I will review. I think next time, the next time I do a review. But called I think it was called Big Dogs or something like that. I forgot the name of the song, but it's been a while since I heard the album. But yeah, and then so forth, and then fast forward to 1999, you have Blackout, and it's a solid album. If you like Method Man and Redman, it's a must-have in your collection. 1999, Blackout, Method Man, Redman. Then we got Gangstar's their fifth album, Moment of Truth. This was released in 1998. To many, this is considered their best album. I disagree. I feel like their best album. It's a dope album, don't get me wrong. I feel like Hard to Earn was the best album in my opinion, just because of the direction they were going. But the thing with this album, they they was going through a lot of shit. Like, you know, I think like right after Hard to Earn, they broke up. You know what I mean? They had their little differences and whatnot. But then like I guess they settled their differences and then they got back together. But Guru, he was supposed to go to jail because something about a manslaughter, something like accident, like he actually didn't kill somebody. I forgot what Primo was saying, but he was talking about that. I think it was like manslaughter. He was supposed to do like 5 years in jail, some shit like that, and like it's pretty deep. But and it's talked about in this album too. But songs this album was known for is like Work, what else? Above the Clouds with Inspector Deck. That was to me one of Inspector Deck's illest verses. You know what I mean? You see like on Jedi Mind Trick's Uncommon Valor song, how Ari the Rugged Man, one of his best verses was on that song. Well, the same concept with Inspector Deck with Above the Clouds. That's how I feel. That I want to compare it to that. You know what I mean? You guys, you know, for those my Jedi Mind Trick fans, you guys should know about that. But this Gangstar Moment of Truth, 1998. Excuse me. Must have in your collection. Then we got Canibus' first debut album, Can I Bust, released in 1998. For those who don't know about Canibus, Canibus is a MC from Jersey. You know, he got his start back in the early 90s, whatever. Then he was affiliated with Lost Boys. Yes, same Lost Boys with Mr. Cheeks and Pretty Lou and Freaky Ta. Rest in peace, Freaky Ta, by the way. Excuse me. And you know, whatever. And then they had like a falling out, and they don't really fuck with each other no more. And then fast forward to 1998, Canibus got put on by Wyclef Jean and shit like that. He got picked up by Wyclef Jean. He produces most of the album. He produces most of the album and stuff like that. Pretty solid album. But you know, Wyclef Jean kind of did him dirty, you know, kind of screwed him as far as like business deals, and so that's why the album wasn't really that successful. I think the only single this album was second round knockout, you know, with the because you know back then what was the LL Cool J diss was, to me, I think Canibus ate LL Cool J. I don't care what nobody says. Although the Rip the Jacket joint was dope. The reason why they had beef, you guys should know this, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you anyways, was because LL Cool J released a song called 4321, and like which was released on which was appeared on LL Cool J's Phenomenon album, which came out in 1997, and there was a line that that Canibus said, you know, like, oh yo L, let me borrow the mic. So something like, let me borrow the mic off your arm, blah 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 blah. And LL Cool J took that as a diss, you know what I mean? But L did it. I don't think Canibus meant it that way. He's just trying to pay homage to LL Cool J, you know what I mean? As a pioneer, but LL didn't really take it that way. He's saying like, yo, who are you? Like you just a new jack. Like who are you to say that? You know what I mean? And hence the beef going on and shit like that. But I'm glad they squashed it. You know what I mean? But and then you know the second round knockout, you know, it was the only single, and they have a video out with Mike Tyson. It's a pretty dope video. You know, it pays homage to like Rocky and shit like that. It's pretty dope. It's I know it's on YouTube, so you should peep that. You know what I mean? But this is Can I Bust. It's a must-have in your collection. A lot of people was bitching about the beats, but I like the beats. You know, they were different. They weren't, you know, your typical. I mean, it was boom bap, but it was different. It wasn't your typical boom bap type of sound. You know what I mean? It was different. It was a dope sound to it. You know what I mean? But It's Canibus, 1998, Canibus, Must Have It Collection. Then we have Bone Thugs' first album, or yeah, I'm gonna say it's their first album. Creepin on the Come Up. For those who don't know, Bone Thugs are they're a group from Cleveland, Ohio. They were a group from Cleveland, Ohio. They were affiliated with Eazy-E. Eazy-E signed them to Ruthless Records and stuff like that. And this was released in 1994. Singles this album was known for is For the Love of Money and Thuggish Ruggish Bone. And let me see, 1 second. Doesn't have a track list, but yeah, pretty much like Thuggish Ruggish Bone and For the Love of Money. This album is known for. Must have in your collection if you're a Bone Thugs fan. Then you got you guys' first album, Golden Hours Redemption. For those who don't know, you guys should know You God. For all my Wolf fans or whatever, this is his first album, released in 1999. It's a pretty solid album. He only had 2 singles out called it was Bizarre and That's Gangster, which were the 2 singles. And the song that is this album was really famous for is that song Rumble. That actually made the album go on number 7 in Billboard charts when I looked it up on Wikipedia. I saw Rumble was on Wu-Tang's Wu-Tang Shaolin Style, which came out in 1999, which is the PS1 video game that came out for PlayStation. I used to have a copy of that game, but I don't know what happened to that. But it was very hard at the time when I was looking for that game. It was hard to come by. But anyways, it's Must Have in your collection. I feel like You Guys very underrated, but this is a very good album. I really like this album. Definitely a dope album. Must have. Then you have Pharoahe's first album, Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs. You guys should know who Pharoahe is, but for those who don't know who Pharoahe is, he's one half of the group Queen's duo or Queen's group, Organized Confusion. They made 3 albums together. Organized Confusion, self-titled, Stress, The Extinction Agenda, and The Equinox, which I have in my collection. And they broke up, whatever. And fast forward to 1999, he released Internal Affairs. One thing with this album was out of print. Reason being is because of the song Simon Says, and that song is because supposedly it uses the Godzilla sample, which was illegally used. I guess he didn't ask for permission, whatever, or maybe the record label Raucous Records, they didn't really ask for permission. They didn't clear the sample or whatever. So that's why it's out of print. And it's crazy too because funny story with this album. Is my friend Kwame that used to live in my block in Queens when I was living in New York at the time. He was telling me like, yo, you should go cop the Pharoahe album. You should copy it, like, cause I wasn't really big on Pharoahe like that. I like the album Simon Says, but I wasn't really big on him as an artist. I kind of slept on him, but I did like the song Simon Says. But my friend Kwame was like, yo, you should go cop the album. I was like, alright, cool, I'm gonna buy it. He's like, yo, if you don't like it, just give it to me. I'm like, alright, cool, whatever. So I bought it. I went to the Music Factory on Jamaica Avenue, and then I loved it, man. But the first song, with the intro, with the scratching and all that, and then like the second song, Behind Closed Doors, and third song, Queens, is like, it was just so ill, and then I was hooked, you know what I mean? And I was lucky enough to buy this album. From what I've heard, Ari's in the works of re-releasing the album. He's in the works of it, so I don't know how true that is, but that would be dope, so other people could experience this album, you know what I mean? But for now, you go on Amazon or eBay, but they're gonna charge you an arm and leg because this album's like very, very good. It's that good. But I would just download it, and I don't recommend that. But if you have to, you do what you have to do. But like I said, Simon Says was like the only single, I believe. And they got some dope songs, man. I really love this album, man. This is a must-have in your collection. And they have the Simon Says remix with Lady Luck, Redman, Busta Rhymes, and yeah, Lady Luck, Redman, Method Man, Shabam Sadiq, very dope artists by the way, Busta Rhymes. So, Pharoahe's Eternal Fears, released in 1999, must have in your collection. Then you got DMX's fourth album, Great Depression, released in 2001. When I first heard this album, I really didn't like it, but then I gave it again. I gave it a couple of listens again, and I really liked it. It grew on me. But this album was known for songs like Who We Be, We Right Here, and shit like. And I think that's it. I think that was like the only singles. And to me, this was the last good DMX album in my opinion, because when he came out, it's like, to me, Grand Champ was like the beginning of the beginning of DMX kind of falling off, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And around that time, he was in trouble with the law. I mean, he was always in trouble with the law, but like this album, like it grew on me. But I really like this album. But I feel like it's very slept on, in my opinion. It has a couple dope songs, man. It's a must-have in your collection. If you're a fan of Rough Riders, you're a fan like DMX, especially like early DMX, you will definitely enjoy this album. I mean, don't expect It's Dark, Hell Is Hot or Flesh My Flesh, Blood My Blood DMX, but you still get that that DMX that we all love from back then. You know what I mean? Must-have in your collection. Great Depression, 2001. Then we have Method Man's Tical, his first album, released in 1994. The songs this album was known for is Bring the Pain, You're All I Need, and Release Your Delf. So it was like 3 singles. This album is fucking ill. I don't care what nobody says. A lot of people say his second album is better than this album. I don't know, man. It's like, it's in between for me, man. I really like this. It's so gritty. It's so dark and grimy. It's just like Method Man at his grimiest, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Besides Judgment Day, no radio-friendly singles, straight street gritty shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? See Method Man with the fangs and shit like that. Pretty dope. See, pretty dope. Tical, which stands for crack, crack or angel dust, because back then he used to smoke angel dust back in the day, you know what I mean? So he was high, he was dusted, you know what I mean? He was big on that, you know what I mean? You would mix that with weed and angel dust together. That was like a big thing back in the day, especially in like in the early 90s. So yeah, man. So this album must have in your collection. I don't care what nobody says. Let's see how much time I got left. Still got time. 1 second, guys. Then we got Beatnuts. This is their second album, or their first full-length album. For those who don't know who Beatnuts are, they were I already explained it when I did Stone Crazy. But this is their second album, released in 1994. To me, this is their best album. I love this album. This is a must-have in your collection. Singles this album was known for is Hit Me With That. We Got the Props. I mean, You Got the Props. What else? Hit Me With That. You Got the Props. And I believe that's it. yeah, man, this album is definitely the best album. You know what I mean? And you know the Cycle Dwarf, you know, which was on, and that song Cycle Dwarf, which was on Intoxicated Demons, the EP, the first album. But definitely a must have in your collection. Beatnuts, 1984, Street Level. Then you got Rampage. Yeah, you got Rampage. What's the name of this album? Scout's Honor by the Way of Blood. Released in 1997. For those who don't know what Rampage is a MC from Brooklyn. He's Busta Rhymes' cousin. You know, you got to start back in 1992. Got signed to Rowdy Records. That's Dallas Austin's record label down in Atlanta. And in 1994, he released a single called Beware of the Ramsack. And that was a big song. And he was supposed to come out with an album that same year, I think like 1994, 1995, called Red October. But the album got shelved and stuff like that. And it remains unreleased. It got shelved. So hopefully that album could come out. Dallas Austin, if you see this, please, I want to see that come out, or Rampage, or we could release this album. I want to hear the album. But anyways, and in 1996, and by the way, he was affiliated with Flipmode Squad. He was part of the whole Flipmode Squad until they broke up. And then in 1996, he appeared, I think in 2 songs on the Coming album, which Abandoned Ship, which he did his thing on that album, in that song. And Flipmode Squad meets Def Squad, classic song. Why that wasn't a single is beyond me, but that's a must listen. You know what I mean? And then fast forward to 1987, you have this album. By the way, this album's out of print, which is sad. Must have in your collection. Songs this album is known for is Wild for the Night, which was a single he released the year prior, 1990, which he released in 1996, and I believe Take It to the Streets or We Gets Down, which was a single. Yeah, I think he came out with 2 singles. Definitely Wild for the Night, which they have a video for, and I think it's Take It to the Streets or We Gets Down. I think one of the 2 was the singles. But this is a must-have. If you're a fan of old Busta Rhymes from back in like the mid to late 90s, you will definitely enjoy this album. Must-have in your collection. This is out of print, released in 1997. Must-have in your collection. Then you have DMX's first album. I love this album. You know what I mean? You guys should already know about DMX. Singles is grimy. You know, besides Flush My Flesh, Blood My Blood, this was like borderline horrorcore. You know what I mean? Definitely a must-have in your collection. Singles this album was known for is the Rough Riders Anthem, Get At Me Dog. How's it going down, and Stop Being Greedy. So those 4. So he had 4 singles, and I believe this was like his highest selling record to date, if I'm not mistaken. But must have your collection, especially like the old DMX. Then you got Insane Clown Posse's 3rd album, Riddle Box. Must have your collection. Especially if you're a Juggalo or an Insane Clown Posse fan. I already told you guys about Insane Clown Posse in my other review, but this album's known for that song Chicken Hunting, like I mentioned, but the remix, because the Ringmaster had the original version, but this has the remix, and they have a video for the remix version of Chicken Hunting. It's a dope song, you know. It has like a nice rock feel to it, but it's pretty dope. Like I said, Insane Clown Posse is not for everybody. It's an acquired taste, but this is, to me, this and Great Milenko, which I do have in my collection, are his best albums in my opinion. This is Riddle Box, released in 1995, must have your collection. Then the last song we review is Cypress Skulls and Bones, excuse me. This album is okay. It's a double disc album, by the way. You know, by this time, Cypress Hill kind of like let go of the the samples. They kind of started doing more of the rock, live instrumentation, or like more rock oriented. Like the first disc, The Skull, I believe is a rap CD. I don't have the CD, but I don't have the album, but it's been a while since I heard it. But The Skull, I believe, is the rap version. It's the rap CD, and the second disc is the Bones CD, which is the rock CD. You know what I mean? I believe the singles for this album was definitely Rap Superstar, Rock Superstar. I believe that's it. Yeah, I believe that's it. I'm not sure, but I remember Rap Superstar was definitely a single. It was definitely a single. This album's okay. Like, for you to really like it, like, you have to be a real Cypress Soul fan. Like, again, I'm a fan of the old Cypress Soul from like the early to mid '90s, like Cypress Soul. The self-titled album, the Black Sunday and Temple of Doom, and the Unleashed and Revamped EP that they released back in '96. I'm a fan of that Cypress Hill, you know what I mean? And like that, the latest stuff was okay. Like Cypress Hill 4, it was okay, it was decent, but again, I'm a fan of the early Cypress Hill, you know what I mean? But it's a must-have in your collection, if you're a Cypress Hill fan, you know what I mean? So that's it for tonight actually. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.